My name is Kat McDowell. I am a singer-songwriter, and I guess I do YouTube and Instagram and all those other things too. Yeah.
What's up? My name's Jin. I am the founder of a company called Circus. We're a micro-influencer ad tech company with 500,000 micro-influencers, 1 billion combined in social reach. And my other company is called Vest, which is the world's first blockchain music royalty platform.
My name is also Jin.
Why would you do this?
You should see the email discussions about this. Like, you forwarded to the Jins and the performers.
Plural now.
Yeah. I've known him for a very long time, so I was happy when he was on the panel with me. I'm a producer. I create everything from TV shows to live stream content to social media content, and yeah, I'm insanely hungry.
And so you guys, most of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Mike Prasad. I am the co-founder of Tiny Sponsor. We're a marketplace where content creators can create their own content and get sponsorships directly. It's creator first. They choose what they want to offer, and brands can go purchase directly. So we like the Etsy, but for content sponsorship. I also work with Easttown. This is an amazing complex that I live in and partner with. They help us build these events. And so if anyone's interested in that, definitely let Derek over there know. He's your guy. But again, thank you for everyone who's not resident for coming. Thank you for residents for coming down as well. So most of the questions are going to be open to anyone who wants to jump in. However, I do want to go through the line one more time, and I want everyone to tell us your main social media platform that you use as a musician, excluding Spotify for the purposes of this question, and then why that you use that.
I think for us it was YouTube. Mainly, even though our numbers are small on there, we appear on a bunch of other YouTubers' videos, and the YouTube space has really been supportive of us and helping us, and then several creators of YouTube have been really amazing. So it's like the main place that we've learned to expand, because we came into this whole thing, we moved to LA just as songwriters and musicians, and then suddenly we were doing skits and we're both in the way, mainly events, because when we started putting comedy videos out, the #1 request was more Vince in a wig. And we had a ratty blonde wig from our landlords. It's a weird story.
It's like decomposing.
Yeah, it's a bad wig. And then, I don't know if Zach is around here somewhere, Zach James gave us a ton of costumes and had more wigs in it. So everyone who comments that they love the variety of wigs now, thanks to Zach. And that was a long-winded answer to a simple question.
But since the YouTube is your main platform, you can build audience there and you get more distribution.
Yeah, so people get to know us, and then they'll give our music a little more sympathy.
Okay.
Hello again. I guess, yeah, YouTube is probably the main one that I use. I think that was the only one that existed when I started. And what was the other part of this question besides why I use
Why
it?
YouTube? How does it help your music?
I've had really cool experiences from doing stuff on YouTube, and in particular covers, covering artists that I like. What would end up happening is people would share that on Twitter to the point that they would reach out to me. So I worked with Hoodie Allen on one of his albums. I toured with Ron Pope, who was a person I covered. And then I went on to Ellen in 2011 because I did a mashup, and it just hit at the right time. And they were talking about It Gets Better and bullying, and so I think the fact that I had a backstory and something that I was doing that in a world where people expect you to look a certain way, they took to that and got to do some cool. I got to meet Adele, who knew me at the time because the internet was small, and I was covering her stuff. So I've had really cool experiences because of YouTube specifically, and at the time doing a lot of cover music.
So it's actually helped you not only get audience, but also kind of network within the industry.
Yeah, it was a great way of saying, hey, it's me, hi, I'm doing your song, and they're more likely to click on it, and hopefully if it's good, they like it, reach out.
I am, I guess, primarily YouTube too. It's funny you said don't count as SoundCloud because I don't even do that. But I guess YouTube is what I've gone to because a lot of my music is comedic, and so there's a visual element to it, and that's helpful. Although maybe I'll learn something from this panel. Should I be on Spotify? No? Okay. Okay.
We just recently started embracing it, so.
Yeah, embrace it.
Yeah, for me, I was in Japan with a record label from 2007 to 2009, I think, 10. And it was probably around the end of 2008. I was like, you know what? There's a lot of people doing stuff on YouTube. And I felt like there was so much that my label wasn't doing to promote me. And I just wondered if maybe they would let me start posting covers and just doing stuff on the internet. And so there's a little bit of friction, because especially at the time, they're like, but you don't look professional if you're showing like covers from your bedroom. But I really enjoyed it. So that was kind of my entry into YouTube. And I found it hard, really. YouTube's been amazing for me, and it's also been really hard for me because I do original songs. So when it comes to discovery, it's always been really hard. It still is kind of hard. So I'm still kind of navigating how I can be true to myself, maybe how I can incorporate more covers, but maybe find other ways of discovery. And so I'm here to learn too. Yeah.
So for the Jins,
I don't know if this question applies to me so much because I'm not a content creator per se.
but for the people you work with, for the people that you work with, in this case for Jin number one, you guys have a platform that helps artists monetize, so that might be something relevant.
Yeah, I'm all about monetizing artists. So just from my perspective, Facebook gives me the most quality engagement, even though I've only got 4,500 friends. And then if I want maximum reach, it'll be Instagram. I've got about 37,000. And then in terms of, if I was like a musician, I would definitely recommend YouTube, of course. So that's where I stand.
Jin, for the artists that you work with?
For me, it depends on which platform it's for. Certain bits have different traction on different platforms, so you've got to, like, every video's got to be kind of custom tailored to wherever it's going. So I don't really have a platform that I would say works better. Obviously, I could say that whichever they have the most subscribers or fans on, that's where you would want to create the most content. But it just varies, you know. Yeah, unless you can account for all the adjustments in the algorithm going internationally and domestically. There's a ton of buzzwords and keywords that can disqualify one and give you less attraction than, you know, another page that has half the followers, which will get more engagements. So I just try to focus on the type of content that is favored on whatever platform it is. Everyone knows how to use Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or Twitter, Periscope. You know, hopefully Mob Crush soon. You know. So it's just about being pliable and being able to adapt your content within the scope of what you're shooting to be marketable to each platform that you're on.
So as an artist, as a creator, you have a couple of challenges you have to hit, across your career. So you have the ability to creating content itself, getting and building audience, and getting fans, right? And there's gonna be like making money off of that and monetizing, being able to pay and have a livelihood. So which tools specifically, it seems like from audience creation, YouTube has been the best tool to build new audience. But as an artist, how do you monetize outside of a gig? There are other ways you're finding that you're able to drive revenue as a musician, as a creator.
For us, I feel like Patreon has really been a great source of revenue for us. It gives fans and people that just like our music an opportunity to invest in us. And speaking of invest, Jin will be that for us right now, actually. The song's out, so we just released the song on Vest. And I'm sure you'll talk a little more about Vest in a little bit, but I guess, yeah, Patreon and Vest will end up being the two main ones for us. And also in like a kind of different sort of way, like Tiny Sponsor, is like, not to toot your horn or anything, but like, these guys have been the first people to find like reasonable deals for us, despite our numbers. Because like if you just look at us on paper, like we're under 3,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, but we're like everywhere else. And when people meet us, so like when we're at conferences and we meet like a brand or something, it clicks. They're like, oh, we get it. You have like the fans that you have are like really devoted. And Mike gets that, and then he's able to do the business speak Dude, our first brand deal Tiny sponsor was with Sundance Film Festival. It was like the coolest experience because we got to downtown LA where they had the Next Fest.
LA Next Fest.
Yeah, and our short film that they commissioned us to do was like looping on the side of the building in downtown LA, like all day.
The Ace Hotel.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then they gave us tickets and treated us like royalty the whole time. Like, I don't know, it was amazing. So it was so much like beyond the brand deal. And then after that, we had that on our resume. Aristotle's here. Okay, so now it's on our resume, and all of a sudden it kind of creates this like cloud that I don't know. Is it interesting? I'm not good at being strategic about stuff like that, but
I mean, having worked with other specific brands, even if you don't have a big audience, there's a certain reputation and quality that's inferred. So I think that people with Sundance, you have it in a certain level with Sundance. So that definitely helps with, I would say, reputation and going into booking other opportunities, whether it's a gig or whether it's additional sponsorship or other collaborations.
Hi. I really struggled making money as a musician on YouTube. I think unless you eat, breathe, think about music constantly, you want to show up at every gig forever, it worked for me to kind of do the multi-hyphenate thing and to branch out into podcasts and daily videos and opinion stuff, and I think build more of that personality side of things, so that people, I mean, the unfortunate part is sometimes people are like, I didn't know you did music. Or people are like, I just want you to sing and please shut up about your opinions about Trump. So you get that. You lose a little bit of the division of like, oh, you just see the art and you don't know that I also hate Trump. Talk about it often.
Sing about it.
Fuck Trump. That's my next song. I would say from a musician standpoint though, I think merch helps. I also think Patreon is a huge thing. For a long time I would write songs, and my struggle was the bridge between writing the song, putting it on YouTube and releasing it, and feeling this pressure of like the minute I talk about it on YouTube or I share it, it has to be available for download or else it loses the momentum. And that's really stressful when you're writing personal songs and you can't churn them out the way that you could with like a daily video or a podcast. So I started doing a Patreon where I would release songs I was working on and people would support that. And then I also am a big fan of DistroKid. I'm not really a TuneCore person. I've had bad experiences with them, but DistroKid is a really cool thing to look into. You're paying for the year, like $20, and you can put as much music as you want, as opposed to like per song. So yeah, I think or Bandcamp is another one that's pretty good. Like they can give you whatever amount they want, depending on the song. So I think there are a lot of these little indie programs and apps that you can use that might help you, especially if you have a dedicated small audience.
I would just echo the same thing. As the reason that I had a multi-hyphenate intro about myself is because music wasn't sustainable in the way that YouTube desires for the algorithm. So it started being comedy, and maybe I don't mention Trump, but things that are faster to make.
2019's coming up.
Yeah, right. Not Trump again. Okay. And I'm also on Patreon, and that's been a huge help. And that is, it's like, Patreon is where I cultivate my tribe, and it's like the really hardcore fans that are there for whatever. And then outside of that, it's more about audience development and getting more and more eyes on YouTube.
For me, I think a lot of my income has come from touring. So I make a lot of merch. Merch is great. Crowdfunding, I don't have this really huge following. So in terms of getting brands to get on board, it hasn't always been easy, but I have this really small but loyal fan base who are just incredibly supportive. And so, I do crowdfunding to then fund my album, and I think for my last album I raised $22,000. And so they didn't pay for my life, it just paid for the recording. But to have the recording paid for meant that all the albums that I sold from that point on was income instead of paying off a debt. So I think for me, touring and merch and releasing music to my small but very loyal following has definitely been my main source of income. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Which crowdfunding site did you use? And did you do like rewards like a Kickstarter, or was it just crowdfunding?
I I did rewards. I use Kickstarter. I use Patreon a little bit, but I don't really make enough to, as much as these ladies to sustain a living off that. But Kickstarter, I did reward packages, and I did reward packages that were kind of, on the generous side, or the more expensive side. So instead of doing something that was like, this is a pre-sale of the album, you can order it for $10. It was more like, hey, you're gonna support the making of this album, so maybe it would be more like, I'd start at $20. And I would do things like sing happy birthday to you on your birthday, or send a little video like singing happy birthday, and I just try and do things that were, wasn't too time consuming for me, or it did end up being time consuming, but just try and do things that is really personal and show gratitude and make it fun and add value. So that's how I did it.
So, before I get to the trends, so we have to visit the merch, I think, the crowdfunding and those Patreon, so I kind of want to cover those, because those are all very different ways of approaching it. Kickstarter being a single project funding tool, Patreon being a recurring subscription funding tool, and then the merch also being a very interesting, complicated side there. So let's kind of start with the merch, because I think it's the simplest answer maybe. So as an artist, every creator can have merch. A lot of non-musical creators also have merch. Now there's a level of production, there's the design, and there's the shipping of all that. So for you, have you done that on your own? Have you worked with some of the firms that do that for you? How have you approached that merch, the merch side of things? Yeah.
I try to keep my costs as low as possible. So generally, I make everything. I make these I get pics made with my own branding on it. This one doesn't have my own branding, but then I bought jewelry parts, and so I make necklaces, I make earrings. I ordered USBs with my logo on it. For the last one, instead of getting t-shirts screen printed, I just ordered t-shirts, figured out how to make a screen, and then I screen printed it myself. So just to keep the costs as low as possible, I would try and do everything DIY, and I'd also show that behind the scenes process so people could see that I make everything, and it would just mean that much more. But it would be, if you're doing it on a larger scale, it would be so much easier to do it through a company. Totally should do it through a big company if you're on a big scale.
Has anyone on the panel ever used a merch company? And if so, what was your experience and how did that work?
So back when we were on the East Coast, we had a much bigger presence because we were from there, we toured a lot there, we invested a lot of time there. We moved out here, that kind of started over. But out east, there was a local company called Space Boy, and if you've ever seen us kind of casual wear, where we have the screen printed vests on t-shirts, those guys made that. And it was from us partying with the owner of the company, and we were both drunk, and he was like, I'm gonna put the vest on the shirt. And so the next day I showed up at his place, and we took a photo of me wearing the vest, and then he made a screen of it and then put it on 100 shirts. And then after he did that, we started selling them, but they're really expensive to make and difficult for them to make, but they were selling a lot. But they were so hard that after that first run, he was like, I'm never making these again. So now we just wear them.
It was actually easier to find you when we weren't selling them.
Yeah.
Because now at our shows, everybody's wearing the shirts. I'm like, right?
But they have scaled up. So when we were working with them, they were a little tiny shop on Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. They're still the same shop, but they have a web series now called Shirtheads that you can check out. It's kind of cool. It's like a reality show of how a t-shirt shop works. But now they're doing stuff for Amy Schumer and things. They're a big company now, but at a small space. But Space Boy Clothing, I would recommend from our personal experience. Unless you want to do vest shirts, because they won't do it for you.
I've used Teespring recently. It's easy for if you come up with an idea or a quote during a video, you can literally release it and have it show up under your YouTube videos, which is helpful. But I have used DFTBA in the past. Been a big fan of them for a while. They release a lot of different kinds of merch. I just haven't probably. The last time I released new music, I feel like people still listen to CDs, which wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago, I swear. I blinked and all of a sudden it's all digital or vinyl, and I'm so confused and lost. I have all these CDs the DFTV was like, do you want these? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take 500 of these that are sitting in my kitchen and no one's ever, I mean, I should have brought them tonight and just given them up. I messed up really. But I mean, it really comes down to finding who works and seeing what maybe other indie things people are using, or what's more accessible. But I also remember like when I first started, I really dove into the process of it and looked up companies on my own. I think Oasis was like a company I went through the first time, and I like designed my CD cover. I checked all the specs. I sent it in. I got the box of stuff. I took it on tour with me. So, I mean, I think we're lucky now that we have all these options. I didn't have them when I started in 2006.
Cool. So, Patreon. So Patreon is its own role of its own, right? You have fans that subscribe from, it's either a monthly fee or a per deliverable fee. That every day you make every music piece you release, they commit a pledge to amount of money. That concept in itself is relatively simple, but building up a Patreon community, getting people to subscribe to like the higher packages, creating incentives to do that is a relatively complex process. So for the ones that use Patreon, give me an example of something you've done or approach you've taken to actually be successful on Patreon?
I mean, I have so many Patreons at this point that I feel bad, like you ever starting another one, because I have one for my podcast, one for myself, and one for a series that I do, which gets overwhelming, especially if you promise a lot of things, and I love to like overpromise stuff and give them everything, and you start to realize like, oh, all this postage adds up, and I was doing Skype calls and stuff for a while, and then you start dealing with like stalking and like just like weird, so you have to like really pare down and be conscious of what you're offering. The most successful things we found, at least on our podcast, is we make people sponsors of the podcast. So like if you pledge at a certain level, we shout you out, we promote something that you want to promote every episode, or moving down from that, we give you little nicknames, or we just do a quick shout out. And so I think a lot of people are so excited to be mentioned or so excited to be part of the process and feel like, I mean, there are people that like give money and don't want any of the perks and just like submit money because they want to support what you're doing. So I also think the most important thing I learned from Natalie Dawn, reading an article she did about how she kind of like ramped up the sales for her Patreon for a CD release, was she started to give the best stuff away at $10. And because a lot of people won't pay $20, but a lot of people will pay $10 for something every month. And so the handwritten letters and things, once I started adding handwritten letters at $10, I mean, I saw a significant growth, like a few $100s.
You gave us that advice when we first moved to LA. We were hanging out with Megan, and she was
Kate
like,
passed me, I don't remember.
she was like, handwritten letters are so valuable. Every time we have a handwritten letter sent out, like the person receiving it, they make a video about it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it means so much, you know?
It doesn't have to be, I mean, when I first started, I wanted to write them like an entire thing, right? It doesn't have to be that. It really can just be like, hey, thank you so much for pledging this month. I appreciate you. Because of this, I got to make this, this, and this. And just like a little sign off, and they'll share it on their Instagram and their Twitter, and they get really excited about it. So it's not always about like what you're offering. It's about the feeling of the community that they're a part of, and they feel like you're making things, and you're either showing them at the end of the video, you're shouting them out, or whatever it is. They feel like, oh, I was a part of something that lives beyond me, and I think that that's an exciting feeling. And you'll see a lot of turnover on Patreon too, so get prepared.
Yeah, I found that, just to echo you, it's not about offering more incentives like you were kind of talking about, getting people to move up. It's that there are two sides of the brain to decision making, and it's either emotional or it's analytical. And as soon as you bring in analytical, the emotional decision goes away. So that's the reason why that you see like the child in Africa, the one kid that you're going to help, not a number of like 250,000 people that you're going to help with their money. It's just this one emotional decision about that kid. And so as soon as the person has decided like, oh, do I want a T-shirt, do I want a CD, that becomes analytical, and then you're screwed for like building your tribe. And so all of my tiers are just like me giving them the feeling that they're special. So like I'll tweet at them, or I will send them a personal video, or they get to be in like a chat room with other people that are excited about my stuff, and nothing about it actually has any value, and it's nothing that I actually have to deliver except that it just be like stoked that they exist. And that's what I think has been so successful for me, and yeah, it helps like my patrons.
You have like a really unique patronage, is that the correct conjugation of that? Sure. Because Allie has patrons that pay for other patrons.
Oh yeah. So I made a video that was like, if you want to be in this club but you can't afford it, like I'll just give the money back. So you'll be in Patreon, but I'll refund your money. And then a couple of the patrons were like, here's $250. So like whoever wants to join, now you would need to bring 250 more people into the group. So they're all like supporting each other.
That's awesome. That's community.
Yeah.
So one of the things that RKVC do really well is you guys do, speaking of the community track here, you guys do a weekly live cast that you always do, like come hell or high water, and people tune in like every time. And I also see a lot of people doing the super chats where they're paying you money and tipping you in the stream. I know you guys use Mobcast for a lot of that. So how does that extend? I mean, you have your Patreon audience, you've got some recurring revenue there, but also you're building community marketing yourself through your live cast. So tell me more about how that works and why.
So a lot of the Patreon community for us and the live streams overlap. Like the diehards on our live streams are pretty much the patrons. And then people just randomly kind of find us, which is really interesting. So how it kind of started is I remember we were coming up to like our 700th YouTube video or something. We were like, we're gonna make this special, and then it was the day of, and we were like, we didn't make this special. So then we were like, hey, we just got enabled for live streaming. You want to try this? If you find that video, it's a hot mess. Like, there's like lights falling over, like we can't figure out how to use it. It's interesting, it's really interesting. But then we started seeing people come in and like talk to us, and they were like really excited, and that excites us. And also, one of the things we went to YouTube for was so that we could like, we're in our mid-30s, which I know isn't old in the grand scheme of things, but for touring, I feel like it's really taxing. So on YouTube, we were able to like not tour as much, but then we don't have that I was drinking reciprocation. I was drinking last night. So, so the live stream kind of gives that back. If we're performing or if we're just chatting, we have the back and forth. Also, they'll forgive us for being late on videos. We're live casting right now, by the way. Thanks to Mom Cam's here. I don't know. Do you have anything else to say? I feel like it's the one time a week that we get to connect with everybody because we keep outputting stuff, and then besides comments, that's the time we can like.
Really, what's crazy about it is, as the artist or whatever, we feel like we need to give more and more and more, and then we're asking the fans, you guys, what can we do? What can we do? And they're like, we don't care. Just you being here and hanging out with us is enough, and that's like. Okay, all right, we'll do more of that. And that's really become like, that's how the community has been growing, is like, they feel like it's a family, they feel like it's a part of their weekly routine because we do it every Sunday,
So do you find it actually helps with your views or your overall distribution on music?
I think so, because we're able to like kind of have more active calls to action on stuff. So I remember one week we put a blooper video out of like, all the times I couldn't stop laughing because Vince was doing something really funny. And for some reason or another, I'm not necessarily on the whole bandwagon of algorithms trying to screw me over, but for whatever reason, it wasn't really out very many places. So as soon as we did our live stream, we're like, who saw the blooper video? Like all the way down the live stream, it was like people saying, I didn't even know it was out. And then we just linked it, and it's there. And then with our music, everybody that's been regular on our live streams know we've been working on this song for like a year. Not a year like straight through, but like I demoed it the first time a year ago. And they'll keep us accountable. They'll be like, how's that song going? That's right, we haven't worked on it in 4 weeks. Yeah, so I thoroughly enjoy it because I feel like I'm actually doing something with people instead of just like inputting into like a DSLR and then uploading on YouTube.
So before we,
I was just gonna say, and that's how it works.
I want to talk a little bit more about marketing and audience growth, because there's a lot of ways to do that. But before I do that, I want to get back to the gyms over there and talk about any kind of like monetization. So I want to move on from that, but you guys, so at Best, you guys offer a very unique way to monetize that isn't really, it's exclusive of audience size. Any kind of musician can use your product. So can you tell me a little bit about that and how that works?
You first? So my company's called Vest. It's a blockchain music royalty platform. We use the technology of blockchain, which powers things like Bitcoin, but it's separate. We use blockchain to allow fans to buy fractional ownership of any artist's song utilizing the blockchain and cryptocurrency. And once you buy a piece of that song, you earn fractional royalties along with that artist. So it's kind of like Indiegogo or Patreon. We're trying to create communities where artists can engage their fans, where you are crowdsourcing a little revenue, crowdsourcing in advance, but you're also giving them a little equity and hopefully turning them into hyper fans or potentially partners who will promote you even harder than being a passive, friend or relative who gives you a couple of bucks.
We just filmed a little video with Jin that we're going to put out later this week, but I didn't know until we were talking about it that it's not just people like us on the platform. You can invest in like Lady Gaga.
Correct, yeah.
That's crazy.
We have Lady Gaga, we've got Justin Bieber, Drake, Jay-Z. We have a lot of bigger legacy artists.
So we didn't think we had that much competition before.
So give me an example of that. So for example, let's say I'm a fan of RKVC and I know they have a song coming out. Do I have to contribute before the song comes out, or is it like it's continuous? Is there a window? What's the logistics of all that?
In order for them to put a song, it has to be out somewhere, whether it's Apple Music or Spotify, something where we can track the progression of it. And then once the song is published, then what they do is they send a letter of direction to the PRO, whether it's ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, and say, hey, I just sold 10% of the song to Vest, so ASCAP will give 10% to my company. Our blockchain and our smart contracts will distribute it to your hundreds or thousands or millions of fans into whatever fractional ownership they bought into it.
Very cool. And then for the Jin at the end. So you work with a lot of artists, along with trying to obviously make a living, trying to earn outside gigs. What are things that you have found or tools that have worked for your guys?
For monetary gain?
For monetization, yeah.
Monetization. It's kind of all over the road because predominantly, dealing like with film or TV specifically, everything's on lockdown. There's no way to skirt around it. The only thing that you can really do is, which is something that we've done with RKVC before, which was find a song and mimic it. And that way it doesn't hit on any of the sensors and it doesn't trip any of the copyright algorithms or something like that. If we know that it's something that is, not worth, you can't justify paying licensing for like a $10,000 song when, the revenue for like ads for this 5-minute video is going to be like maybe 30, 40, 50 bucks, something like that. It's for, on my end, the music aspect of it is really kind of difficult because it's generally outside of my expertise. So the only thing I can tell you is don't steal the music. just buy it straight up or get permission for it.
So say when you guys are doing a video, say if a musician's doing a cover, they can be essentially demonetized if it's licensed, if it's not cleared from the originating artist.
But you've been matchmaking them with other creators.
Quiet.
Yeah, so it's a little inside secret to this room and also everybody that follows us. We don't do covers on our channel, but there's a band that sounds a lot like us that does covers on other people's channels, a lot of other people's channels. Put it that way. Wink, wink. Yeah. You should look up a band called The Nice Wanders. They're great. You'll laugh later when you see them.
I like do I dive down that rabbit hole or not?
It's for later,
Okay. So some monsters, we know that there's, you can search for your audience. It seems like the question here is that if you are a starting musician, really focus on community and find ways to involve community in your music, and then also monetize as much as you can in the right ways to support that, to create more content, create more music. As an outsider to the music industry, I would, in my mind, I'm like, oh, well, there's Apple Music, there's Spotify, there's SoundCloud. These are all things where I'm like, oh, if you're a musician, you probably go there. They're paying you, right? But that isn't necessarily the reality. So for those of you that are on Apple Music, that are on Spotify, you know, what is that like as a musician? Is it really a big deal for you? Is it just you have to be there, but it's not really, you know, a big deal to your day to day? Is it a huge amount of money? Is it a small amount of money? Tell me about that.
I think for us, we're just now getting started in Spotify because we're hearing from our other musician friends that like it's the thing, and we're seeing that people are consuming a lot of music there. But to be honest, it's been a hard sell for us because I think last Christmas season we had 500,000 streams of our Christmas album, and our payout was $57. And that was on the high end. Like it's crazy. If you can look up like Bette Midler talked about From a Distance, and she got like $1,200 for it or something. And it was like it's one of the biggest songs of like a decade. You know, I don't know. So it's been tough on the financial end, but we're going for it this time. We're gonna see if it's worth going for, or if we've just been doing it wrong, or if it really is terrible. Does anybody work for Spotify here?
I did joke earlier that I'm not on Spotify, but I am. And I've had like similar thing where it's like you're there because you have to be, but the money that we get back for that is not crazy, and the plays aren't great too. But I do have some advice for you guys. Like the big thing is getting on big playlists. So if you can reach out to those people, that's where you get discovered. And there are, well, if there is a traditional record deal anymore, they're looking at Spotify plays, and those big playlists are where you're going to get it.
Okay, so Spotify is more or less this way of like building audience, building reputation. You're not spending a lot of money off of it, but you're leveraging it for other deals.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember the last time I looked at how much I made off Spotify. I don't think it was very much. But the thing I've been recently doing is, as an artist, you kind of have access to like your artist page, and you can choose what playlists are kind of at the top, so you could have like your own music. But I've been creating like a daily playlist of just soft stuff I'm listening to as a way of keeping the page active, so that people keep coming back and following, and then potentially are listening to my music that I'm including occasionally new songs as they're coming out. So I think that that's another way of looking at it, is like maybe become a curator, and within, if you grow that enough, you can curate your own music within it to get another fan base. And also, I'll add a song to the playlist, and then I'll like screen record that, put it on Instagram stories, and I'll tag the artist. And I've had a few of those artists be like, thank you so much for adding me your playlist. That creates another line of connection with someone that you could collaborate with someone that just, you know, might shout you out. You never know.
You should put that on. Add this new song to your list.
So if Spotify and some other platforms are really just about building an audience, and I think that playlist tip was a really great tactic on like engaging your audience and hopefully getting more visibility. What are other tricks on YouTube, on Instagram that you've used to kind of draw out more listeners and more fans? And I think you know a little bit about that, right? On the YouTube side?
Yeah, I mean, nothing works better than collaboration, I think. So for me, it's just, I mean, I think it's great. You know, if you give and you promote and you help out other people, at some point they're bound to give back, or somebody else will, you know, will give back to you. And so I love collaborating with people. It's so fun with all sorts of different people. That's been definitely the best way I've grown my audience. And, you know, I've turned up to a show in the middle of nowhere and found, you know, and I meet these people and I talk to them, and how did you find out about me? And a lot of them are like, oh, I was following blah blah blah, and so you turn up on their thing, or, you know, I was watching you on YouTube. So collaboration, I think.
As far as like little tricks and things that I've used over the years, I've used a website called clicktotweet.com. You can craft the tweet that you want people to send out, and they just click the link, and so it can link to a video that you're doing. Also, I mean, if you are doing covers or any interaction you have with other artists, things that they might click on and look at and promote is good. So making sure that you're tagging them in anything that you're putting out there that has to do with them, being active in the community and commenting on their stuff so they start to recognize you are always around. And I feel like there are YouTube musicians that when you become friendly with them, they're more likely to maybe promote your stuff too or collaborate with you. And then, I think I had another one, now I can't really remember it, it might be gone. Let's see, collaboration, blah, blah, blah. I think I lost that. Sorry.
So, RKVC, you guys do the podcast. I've seen you guys post. You've done these like random, like pop-up music videos where you involve popular topics that are like the Ready Player One movie came out. It was trending, and you guys made a music video for that. It was super timely.
Yeah, so something we've learned to do very well in LA is steal, but legally. So the short version of what happened here was we were like, well, we don't do covers, so how do we be topical and then have our own music featured and stuff? And actually just around the corner here at Hollywood and Vine, Ready Player One did like a recreation of the movie. They had some props from the movie and stuff, and you could walk through the plot of the movie and everything. And so the whole thing is already pre-licensed. They want you to share Instagram photos and all that stuff. So, and the actors are all cleared and everything. And so the two of us were like, so it's a free set. I mean, I think my computer's tweeting something. If it does it again, I'll turn it off. So we haven't made like these 20-minute slots you could RSVP for. So we did 3 20-minute slots, and we ran in. We planned our shots. Then we like lip synced in the middle of like a tour group, and we just like stole a whole video. Granny's gimbal. Yeah. And then we grabbed like the music video around it, and then we so everything was like Ready Player One and stuff, and then put it out there. I don't think Ready Player One really embraced the people involved embraced it, but then we did another one for the TV series Legion. And for whatever reason, I need to reach out to find out why, but we were getting a lot of views from Shazam. So when people were like Shazamming Legion, it was going to our music video. And Mark Gray shot it for us, he was there with us. We half decided when we didn't think we were gonna do it. We're like, well maybe, let's do it. And then Mark was like, go stand over there. This is a good shot, you do this.
Just roll around and jump around and I'll capture some shit.
So yeah, so that was something we kind of stole our sets, but it was legal.
I remembered my thing, by the way. I'll be quick. Create activations the way that you do like flash sales on t-shirts. So like, if you're really excited about like for this month or this week, this thing's happening and you're building it up, the way that I did that was I started moving my music to a second channel because it just became too much. And so to create that separation, in March was like, I'm gonna do a cover every single day. I did 31 covers in 31 days or whatever it was. And I think people tuned in because they were excited, maybe she'll cover my song, and then people tuned in because they're like, maybe she'll completely screw this up and we'll get to watch it. So you get both sides of the thing. But I think it pushes you to become a better artist, and you have that connection with your audience on like what you're doing every day, so they feel a part of it.
So what's interesting, I'm seeing a pattern here of create other non-musical content. A lot of things that are not explicitly music, but are social content, socialized content. Bring that into your stream. I think that's a really creative approach. They also, to some extent, attract from the music. So it's kind of like you guys, a couple of you mentioned that you multi-hyphenate. That's awesome. Do you feel that though you're choosing between being a social content creator versus a musician versus even doing gigs? Because obviously if you're doing all that, you're not doing any gigs. So the gigs being the traditional pathway to kind of be a musician. Give me your thoughts on is the social and digital necessary evil? Is it just another option to take versus someone who's just like, I'm going to go traditional and just do gigs and play, which like that?
I mean, I think I definitely have days where I envy someone that's just doing music and that's the focus and that's all that it is. But I also feel like when I would play shows on tour, I felt like I was like a part-time comedian / musician. So I feel like there's another part of your craft, which is being able to talk about anything at any time in the middle of a song. If you screw it up, recover from it, make a joke. So there's all these little muscles you're exercising as a musician that I think you can grow by diving into other content. You may suffer the fact that people either don't know you do music or they just want you to do music and they don't want to hear the other stuff, but I think that it only serves to help you not only with your reach and your engagement, but also, you know, what if music isn't the thing that works? Or maybe music's part of the dream, but it's not the entire thing. I think that it's okay to have multiple dreams and shift between them and let them feed into each other. I think music really set me up for a certain thing. Doing daily videos and talking about topical stuff has set me up in a certain way, and I can always go back to those things a stronger creator and just with more tools in my tool belt.
Yeah, there isn't a day that goes by that I'm not like, yeah, am I screwing myself by not focusing? I just like put all my energy into music. But I also can't imagine not doing all of the like daily digital stuff that whether it be Instagram or like weekly YouTube or just like being on a schedule, like constantly shitting things out versus like crafting a beautiful song that only comes, once a year or whatever. And so yeah, it is a struggle, and I absolutely get the people being like, "Would you just sing already?" Or other people being like, "Why are you singing? Go back to being funny." But yeah, like I don't know if I want to say necessary evil, but I think it's a really important part about its development is that like just music is not sustainable.
Can anyone think of a musician right now that's popular that people don't want to know everything about their life, and they want to know what they're doing and what merch is coming out, and what projects they're working on, what TV shows they're hosting? Like, I can't think of any musicians that are just doing music and they are a package of other things. I think they have their hands in a little bit of everything, and I don't know many people that just survive on just music.
I remember, I think it was our first like holiday season in LA. We were editing a YouTube space, and it was when they still had the cubicles. And there was a bunch of us, I think Shawnee was there, like a bunch of us, like we're all editing, we all had different channels. There was like a kids channel, there was a music channel, there was like a balloon channel, there was like a car review channel, all stuff. Mukbang channel. Like at some point, like it was that quiet that always happens in like a conversation. But it was like everyone looked up at the same point, and we all looked at each other and had a collective like, how did we get here? None of us aspire to be video editors, but we've been here for 12 hours editing videos. So that part I think is like not necessarily evil, but it's like we're waiting for the time when we can pass that torch to someone.
This is the idea of like you guys are essentially building your own. You're not saying, I'm not just gonna be a and hope someone finds me. You're saying, okay, well screw that. I'm gonna use these tools that are available to me to take that into your own hands.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like, if I would like sell out 100-seater, I was like, holy crap, that's a good night. Like 100 people came to see you play. And if you make a YouTube video with 100 views, you suck. That's awful. So like, just the like level of exposure that you could get by like putting everything digital is so different. I mean, I know that it's not like that emotional connection of having someone like right there in front of you, but yeah, it's just like the potential there for exploding that exposure is much more.
So in a way you get to recreate that because you're doing live casting to other ways to engage your audience in a way that you otherwise would do in person.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea to be able to tour and to be able to play live. I think that separates you from the pack of people. They're just like, I just want to make an album. I'll just make an album, and they do it. And it's like, I think there's something to being a musician that going out and playing live and playing in bars where no one cares about what you're doing and you have to entertain yourself. It sucks, but it builds you up to take the criticism and the rejection that comes with doing online stuff. I think it's where the eyes are. This is how everyone consumes media now. It's how they find things. And I mean, it's also not new to YouTube. Like when YouTube first started, I remember there was an artist called Tara Naomi. I remember watching her, she would upload one original video a day, and she called it like her living room tour or her online tour. So this is something that people were doing right at the beginning, and I think it's, when you do make a video that has a few thousand people, you have to imagine a few thousand people in a room. A few thousand people will probably never show for most of us to a show. Like it's a lot in one space. But to have that access to everyone from all these different parts of the world that could share your song, get a tattoo with your lyrics, talk about you to a friend, whatever it is, like you just don't know the kind of PR you're getting, and you don't know the kind of, if you're a musician and you're making stuff because you want to change people's lives or affect them, why not do it in a place where you could affect the most amount of people at any point? Even if you're not making music in 10 or 15 years, there's always going to be someone that finds that and connects with it and it changes something for them.
Can I add something to that? You mentioned Tara Naomi.
Yeah.
I just did a panel with her. Who here knows who Tara Naomi is?
She's an OG YouTube musician.
OG YouTuber, like 40 million subscribers, like in 2007. How many people here are musicians, first off? Just trying to gauge the audience. You are too? Okay, that's nice. So yeah, 40 million subscribers. She's killing on YouTube. And then she got a record deal from Island Def Jam, I believe at the time. It was the greatest thing. She was so happy. And then Island wanted to control everything.
I was going to say, have the typical musician experience where it's not.
Yeah, they wanted to control her social media, what she looked like, what she said, her YouTube, everything. At one point, she completely backed away from YouTube and let them take over everything. And she ended up losing like 90% of her entire audience. Because the point I want to make here is whatever you do, you got to connect with your audience in any way possible. Maintain that connection by signing with that label. Not that it's the worst thing. Sometimes it works if you're Drake or Post Malone. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you can't lose sight of the audience and that connection and that maintain that. That's your currency.
That's a good question, I think.
Does Sonny actually have lyrics of yours tattooed on him?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like you made it. I think that moment, that made it.
I did. Well, yeah, I was on tour, and someone came up, they had like an entire ship tattoo with lyrics from a song that I wrote called The Fault Is in Our Stars. And I was like, wow, okay, John Green inspired this, and then I inspired, it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility. But I think it's a really cool thing. Like, I know how big of a deal it is to take someone else's words and tattoo them on your body, so it's very cool.
So, to the James, do you think it's possible for a musician to essentially build their own community, build their own distribution, build their own monetization, just be like, you know what, screw music labels, like I'm my own music label?
I'm not necessarily anti-label, nor am I for it. For some people it works, and for some people it simply will not. I think the majority of people kind of have to look at their own brand as their own business, and not just a business. You have to create your own ecosystem. And what I mean by ecosystem is, if you are Apple Computer, you're now going to make a phone, which is dependent on the computer, and then you make an iPad, and then you're going to make iTunes, where you buy software and content and play it on your phone and your computer, and keep people in your ecosystem. I think musicians have to think about it in those terms. It's not just doing music and that's it. Last week I was in Nashville for a panel, and my Uber driver told me he is a professional drummer, and he tours, and this is how he makes his money. But unfortunately, he still has to drive Uber to make a living. And then he said, you know, do you think I should get on Instagram? I'm like, oh wow, you know, like absolutely. And he said, yeah, it just bothers me so much. And I said, why is that? He said, well, I follow this kid, he's like 15 years old, and he does drum covers, but he looks like he's sponsored by every music company in the world, and he's got millions of followers. Like, I hate that. You know what? Why do you hate that? Like, if you're less talented, should you not exploit every opportunity that you have? Would you want this little kid not to exploit that? Like, if anything, you should be irritated at yourself that you're not exploiting that. You are this world-class drummer that tours, you know, 100 days out of the year, and you're still driving an Uber. Get the fuck on Instagram. Oh, I'm so sorry. Get on Instagram, get on YouTube, build your ecosystem, build your fan base. You can't just drum and say that should be it, because it's not. You've got to look at yourself as a brand and a business and exploit every possible channel every single day. Cross-collaborate. I don't know who talked about that. Cross-collaboration is key. Like, look at these Instagram models, like 1 million over here, cross-collaborating with 2 million over here, and now they both have 3 million, and at 10 million, now you're getting $10,000 paid posts. I mean, the opportunities are endless, but you gotta go for it. And I don't think musicians, not every musician, I don't think some musicians take it as seriously as they should. Social media ecosystem is the future. They've gotta lock it down like right now.
Well, I think the most important, there are two things that I try to remember every time I'm feeling down about whatever. Number one, the most talented people aren't going to be the most successful people. That's just something you have to get out of your head. It's like, talent is a huge part of it. That was very Midwest the way I said that, sorry. Talent. From Michigan. Talent is very important, but drive is even more important, and dedication and discipline are astronomical how they affect things. So when you're seeing people and you're like, I don't think they're very good, they work hard though to get where they are and to make those connections and to know the people they do and to show up. And then beyond that, I think the thing to remember is no one's going to work harder for you than you are for yourself. And as someone who's been with managers and been with MCNs and done all this and seen every single person I know that's been with a record label have a horrible experience unless they make it like that 1% that makes it. The record labels and the managers are selling you on things that you can do yourself. It's just more exhaustive of your time. So promotion and connecting with people and booking gigs and making your CD covers and whatever it is, you can do all of that, or you can find people that will help you and grow with you as a team. But a lot of these bigger companies are selling you on like, well, get you merch. You can do that on your own. We'll get you exposure. They're probably not. They have a huge roster of people that they're not focusing on. They're just going to take your 15% or 10% and give you one brand deal a year. So there's a reason I'm leaving full screen. So like,
Shots fired.
it's fine. I don't care. I'll burn the bridge. I built it. So it's just like, I think the reality is that you can't go in just not expecting people to say, oh, you're so good, here is the thing. There are people that have been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years who may never make it or are just starting to make it. And I think that a lot of times we see these quick stories and we ignore all the people that worked for years and years and years, just busting ass to do it themselves and to keep the costs low, like Kat said. So you can be smart and strategic, but it's not gonna come to you in an easy way.
Yeah, I think on that note, we've had Tiny Sponsor, we've had, I won't say who, we've had MCNs, we've had.
I mean, I love all the MCNs. I'm a big frame, I love them, full screen, great images.
Nothing bad. There's been MCNs, there's been managers, there's been agents, there's been actually musical agents who have approached us and said, hey, I have all these musicians I represent. How can we use other influencers to build their audience? And I think there's an assumption that these people somehow know better. And in some cases that's true, in some cases there's not.
Yeah.
But no matter what, they will never know your audience as well as you will know your audience. And I think that's like all the advantage I've seen, all the stories that you guys have talked about, comes back to you know your community, you know your audience. And no matter who manages you, they might be able to book you with Geek Better, they might be able to get a brand relationship if they have those contacts. Fair. But they're never going to know your fans the way you know your fans. I think something throughout the process you want to keep that in mind because that's where your gains happen. So, for Jen at the end, with the mic, industry-wise, I mean, what are some of the things that you're, like, for the people that you work with, like, what should they be doing? And do you think, like, kind of building on what other Jen said, you know, what are the options there? I mean, are there any other professionals on the industry side that you would want to tell musicians to know about going into trying to build a career around?
Yeah, nobody owes you anything. That's something you have to kind of remember at a few different levels. Is that I've been in meetings where you go in with people and they have X, Y, and Z going for them. They have millions of followers or whatever, and but we're talking about a film, we're talking about a TV show or something along those lines, and you can kind of get a pulse of how the meeting's going, and it's not going well for you because you're inadvertently kind of making demands, or you have these expectations that you set of what you're going to get, how great it's going to be, and on the other side of the table, I'm kind of looking at it like, you're not an actor, you can't even act. I don't understand why you're making all these demands for, X, Y, and Z, so like no one owes you anything. Every step of the way, whether you're moving from music to modeling, to acting, to whatever, you're gonna have to fight tooth and nail every phase. Nothing's handed to you, period. But if you do show that work ethic and you just consistently put out good quality content, people are going to notice, and your fan base is going to notice, and it's going to grow, and it's going to keep growing. To answer the question earlier, is it possible to, make the music from its inception all the way through distribution? Is it possible? Yeah, absolutely. I think it is possible. Not alone. The days of selling, tapes out of the trunk of your car, CDs out of cars, slowly coming to an end. It's just not viable anymore. I think that it's possible, but you're going to need a team to consult, because rather than dealing with just a $5 cash exchange from the trunk of your car to their hand, now you're dealing with terms of service, terms of use. You're signing up, you're uploading to this platform. Well, this is what you need to know. So you need someone that can decipher through that legal jargon, so you understand in plain speak what your rights are, what's coming along with this whole package of throwing your music up there digitally, and more importantly, are you going to be okay with that in the long run? Like you signed one website, just as an example, and then 10 years later, you're like, oh, I want to bring that song over here on this new website, and then all of a sudden you can't because there's one line you missed, in the contract that says, well, I'm sorry, terms of service, this is also part of ours, we would give you permission. It's happening in the worst possible ways. So, can you do it by yourself? Yeah. But consult people along the way that know more about that specific field than you do. I consult with attorneys, I consult with other producers, I consult with financiers. years, because there's a lot of stuff, and I can't stress this enough, how much stuff I don't know. In fact, I usually wing my way through a lot of meetings because of how much I don't know. But in the end, if the content is good, the quality is good, it reminds me of Steve Martin's favorite quote whenever anybody asks him, how do you make it in this industry, which is kind of applicable to any genre, any platform, and that's be so good they can't say no. That sounds funny. Obviously, that's the goal. But the more immersed I got into the business side of entertainment, the more I realized that he was 100% right. Be so good that they can't say no. And then they'll start working with you, everybody will start working with you. So it's like, to answer the question, yes, I think you can. Don't go at it from an ego point of view. Go at it as a collaboration. Consult with other people. Just like people that are plowing the road that you might be friends with. Like I have a question on certain types of music. I've worked at varying levels from independent to studio to cutting edge. But if I have a question on music, I'm going to hit up Rod Vince, and I'm going to say, hey, this doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to reach out and blatantly tell them, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I need someone to help me out with this. And chances are, because they're good enough guys, like, we don't know too much about this, but maybe you can call out.
Usually we're like, what, Paulo? Of course, Paul's a publisher.
Hi, Paula.
So, I don't want to just wrap up on that, but a good point, collaboration. I think whenever I go into, when I spend with talent, or with brands, or with anyone, it's if a creator comes in with a really big ego making a lot of demands, that's fine if they're really good, but that brand may not work with them again. Or, worst case, they won't work with them. But best case scenario is you come in and say, I know what I'm really, really, really good at. I know what my value is, but you also say, well, what does the other side need from me? Why are they even talking to me? What matters to them? And then you find that mutual bridge. The best creators I've found are the ones that aren't just really, really good at what they create, but they're also really good at framing that to other people. So it's not just, I'm a musician, but I'm a musician who does this very specific style of music, does this very specific audience, who loves this very specific thing for this very specific reason. And when you know those things and you can outline it, that makes it easier to communicate to other people. Say, oh, that's why that person's valuable. That's why I should work with them. And I found that to always be the best approach. And on our platform as well, the people that get sponsored the most are not the ones that say, hey, I'll do X and Y for an Instagram post, but they'll say, hey, I do a weekly video reviewing face masks for Asian skin or something. That's super specific. So if a brand is like, I'm a good man, I have that audience, they're buying that. There's no question. But the brand will never find that on their own. It's really up to the creator to frame what they do. So I think with musicians, it's the same thing. We've done events as well. We've had the event sponsors say, we want someone who does this type of music in this very specific way for this outcome. So if the people are just sending in like EPKs, they're not going to listen to every single one, unless someone's like saying, this is what I do. And oh, cool, that's a good match. Let me go look at that. So we have the next section is going to be we're going to premiere RKVC's new video. We also have some live music and public networking as well. But before we get to the fun stuff, I want to just wrap up. Is there any questions from the audience? Not even one. That's great.
The panel was so good, everyone got it.
I have a question.
One question, yes.
Have any of you panelists learned something from your fellow panelists today that you're going to walk away from?
There was actually something that I forgot. I'm serious, because sometime during the middle I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And I forgot who said it and what it was. For me, it was, Megan said something about activations. And I'm going to take that away for sure. I'm taking it. It's mine now. But, I still forgot.
Jin here. I'm Jin Kelley. Listening to Jin just kind of reiterate about the possibilities of blockchain technology. It also serves as a constant reminder, like where I got to where I am now with content creation, and because I'm at the level that I'm at specifically with that, it's not because I pull out a film camera and I was like, 35 millimeter, I'm gonna go make the next Godfather. Watch, I'm gonna do this because that job is already filled. People are already doing that. Instead, I found out my strength was integrating new technologies into old formats. Combining new technologies into existing forms of entertainment, you know, cross-platforming, live streaming. It kind of goes on. Blockchain's a new one that, you know, the applications are kind of still being executed. It's still being rolled out. Just suggesting that you can buy percentages of a song. You want to take that, Paula? Yeah. Making the money.
Yeah, deals to close.
So just from, you know, a reminder from my friend here that as it's rolling out, your biggest asset in entertainment is your ability to adapt. You can't get locked in to one medium. When I came out in 2001, you know, everybody was clinging onto film desperately, 35mm film, and this is, I think Star Wars: The Phantom Menace was the first film that was shown digitally. That it was a digital film. I think it was shot in red. Was it red? I think it was red. I don't know. I'm gonna have a bunch of nerds emailing me. So it got so much resistance, a crazy amount of resistance, and I couldn't help but wonder. I'm like, well, it's not going to hurt you to learn this, just in case this does take off. Because if it does take off, then you're going to be one step ahead of everybody else. So while you're out there, even just as musicians, when you're creating new content or videos or anything, try to integrate different things into your filming or your music. Because technology is just going to keep evolving. It's going to keep going, keep going, keep going. And you can either get steamrolled by it, or you can adapt with it and kind of always stay just a little bit ahead of the curve.
Cool.
Yeah, blockchain's the future. If you don't know what blockchain is, like,
get out.
Like, yeah, leave right now. Actually, so just a real small thing. Actually, it's kind of a cool thought to start closing up on. Is our whole concept of the song "Wrong Things, Right People." There's like a comedic part to it where it's like we mess up a lot, but if we're around like the right people, it's fine. But then just we've always been more concerned about making cool friends. Like everybody in this room that we've invited, like cool people that don't care for like small, big creators, whatever. And so like with Jin Kelley, we've been working with him for a little over a year now, I think, and he introduced us to Jin Yu before we didn't even know what you did. He's like, you should talk to him, he's a good person. We're like, cool, we'll take you out. Yeah, he's another Jin. There's only 2 in the world, they're right here. But a week before then, there you go. Well, a week before then, I was showing Vince a little mini documentary about crypto kitties, which it was so interesting. It was like how to make art like out of blockchain and all this stuff. And I told Vince, like, I don't know how, because I don't have the aptitude mathematically or business-wise to make this work, but someone's going to make this work in music, and that'll be the future. And then when Jin introduced us to this Jin, he's like, I'm working in blockchain music. I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, that's it. And my company's called Best. That was amazing. So we're like, it's meant to be, we're the right people.
And they're basically like your mascots now. just like,
when we came to the office to sign the paperwork, the rest of the staff that hadn't met us yet were like, is this a joke?
Awesome. So we are now going to watch the premiere of your new music video.
Yeah. And then so it's not really a music video. It's like we asked a bunch of our music and social media friends to listen to the song for the first time and react. And that's most of them on here. And there was.
I mean, you chose to do it today. You had to do it today because
this is the anniversary of RKVC. I don't know how old we are, but this was the day that we sat in an office with our music consultant at the time, Lauren Weissman, and he actually named us. We paid him too much money for it, but it's our name. It's our
It's one of those things you see in the movie too, where he like looks at us weird, and he looks down, and he like writes on this little square piece of paper, and he folds it in half, and then pushes it across the table. And we're like, what's going on? And they open it up, and this is RKVC. And we're like, really? Yeah, that's all right.
All that. Yeah. But also you said you kind of listen the same day on Spotify or something like his first debut.
Oh yeah, like
we want to. Something we've been trying to concentrate more on lately, because we're trying to be better at being other things besides writing songs, is that everybody keeps telling us momentum is the thing. So we want to make sure that, like, if you have a phone and you have Spotify or Apple Music, we would much appreciate it. If you added the song to your playlist. like it, whatever. I don't know. If you hate it, then don't worry about it. But hopefully you like it. But yeah, we want to try to make as much impact on the first day as possible. So that's why we're here. Celebrating our first new music in 2 years, because we've been doing so much social media, we haven't written songs until now.
All right, well, thank you everyone for sitting to the panel and for the panel for having amazing insights into what they do. Let's watch your video.
Yeah, we'll put chairs up and we'll play our songs for
Yeah, music. I'm excited for that. Thank you.
I know.
Before I forget, if anyone
They set it
needs
up.
parking validation, come find me.
Yeah. They just said show up. I'm Sam. We actually met at VidCon 2-3 years ago. Maybe it wasn't VidCon. No,
The money machine?
Oh, at the Mount Cook. Yeah. I think we met before that too. You made something else. Mark May was at it.
Is everybody able to see the screen all right? Well, once again, everybody, thank you for coming out and celebrating with us. And can everybody see the screen okay? So feel free to download the song without all the people talking over it in the video, but we wanted to show you kind of what our friends thought because it was positive and we always have to bring the positive experience on it. All right, so this is Wrong Things Right People.
You've been waiting for this for too long.
All right.
Wrong Things, Right People.
I'm so excited. Here we go. No voice.
Here we go. We're in the original beat lab.
We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
I like that beat.
We all got problems, but I found the best. Yeah, well done, guys. A+. Yeah, I can't wait to commit this song to memory. Look at me. Oh, well done. Great job, you guys.
And the video already.
It's about doing all the wrong things with the right people. Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to play this song. We'll play a couple songs.
Is that a little kid? That's great. That's exactly what I wrote that to.
We're going first so we can get this out of the way because we're really nervous. We don't play. We've been playing in front of YouTube for too long. But stick around because some of our favorite musicians are coming up. Also, they're amazing because I guess my language when I texted them didn't make it clear that we were asking them to also be on the panel, so half of them found out as they were walking in they were on the panel. Yep. What's first? Let's do wait. This is from our first project years and years ago. Yeah. That needs to be loud.
Don't count me out, don't let me down. Never told you this, but I needed you around. I'm a mess, got problems, too many drinks, now I'll be honest. My foot is on the ledge and I need you to know. Dirt is falling 20 stories below. I'm waiting, you're waiting. Wonder how am I waiting for? I'm waiting, you're waiting. Don't want you to wait on me anymore. Whoa, 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 still waiting. Whoa, 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 still waiting. You stuck around, I let you down, and all this time I was just too proud. I'm back and forth, you stand your ground. I'm hard to love, but someday I'll come around. My foot is on the ledge and I need you to know. Dirt is falling 20 stories below. I'm waiting, you're waiting. What the hell am I waiting for? I'm waiting, you're waiting. Don't want you to wait on me anymore. Whoa, 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 still waiting. Whoa, 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 still waiting. I'm sorry, I'm still fighting, I need you, don't give up on me. Whoa,
really long time since we played that.
Yeah, I'm not quite as not hungover as I thought I was.
It got to like the second verse, and I'm like, oh shit, what's the second verse?
So we decided to like kind of pick a few songs from like across different eras. This was from my solo project, but Vince and I worked on this album together. There was an era where all my solo stuff in the first couple RKVC projects, every song was about girls. And I think it was Vince's dad that texted, he's like, have you ever thought about not writing about girls? So that's like the other stuff. This is about a girl. Little background to the song that everybody wants to know a story about. I was like in a bad place. Vince was like, you need to get in a better place. So he like drugged my ass out of bed and we went to an open mic, so you're gonna play. And I walked in the room and there was this girl there and it was like the weird movie thing that never happened. It was like time stands still, saw her, and then I got to meet her. She was amazing. Turns out later she was having a really crappy day too, but she didn't show it. And I was like, this is her. And then wrote this song based on that experience. That obviously didn't work out, but in another way, she's still such an important part of my life, of both of our lives, but like for me, and has been one of my closest friends, and to this day doesn't know what's written about her. And actually, this is the only guy that knows besides me. So far, you've been really good about not saying anything to anybody. She's like, so
What if she's on the live stream?
I don't know.
We haven't named her yet.
Yeah.
At the bar thing.
What's that?
Like he's never been in a bar.
Yeah, right. Let's see how well we can do this.
Yeah. This is even an older song than when we just played.
Right? Alright. I had this revelation when we were rehearsing that I haven't played piano on stage in 3 years because the last album we put out, there was so many like synth things. I wasn't really playing keys. I was like triggering like little laser sounds and stuff. So this is exciting because I love this keyboard, but also nerve-wracking because judgment. All right, here we go.
crowded room. There is only you.
Thank you. Seated. Yeah, we're gonna stay seated now. I'm tired, hungover. So
I got this on.
What's that? Oh,
Yes.
I'm not
Thank
using
you.
this anymore anyway. It's funny too that it was too loud out there because I didn't think about this positioning logistically, and I can't hear anything. I was like, great, this is gonna sound like a hot mess out there. What's that? Yeah, I'm good now. It was just this specific placement, like, I don't know what I'm playing. I'm going like visually. This was from something more recent, not the most recent thing. The only thing we'll say about it is there's this dynamic of any kind of relationship, whether it's like romantic, friendship, family. Where it's granny party on everybody.
It's really nice of you, thank you.
We that a part of any sort of relationship dynamic where the honeymoon period is over, and you always told yourself, whether, like I said, if it was romantic, friendship, or family-wise, like we'll never be that. And then when you are that, you're trying to figure out like how, why, it was inevitable. So this is that thing. Did I talk long enough to tune?
Nope.
Okay. So this particular album that we did this for was the first time we were like, screw the theme. Like we didn't really have a theme for the record, and we just kind of like wrote what was happening. And we thought this was going to kind of be one of the throwaway things that we really liked, that nobody else really liked. And then it ended up being, because it's a slower song, it ended up being one of the songs that was like most requested when we be at after parties, we play, Yeah. Also the highest I've ever sung on earth, which is going to be exciting here in a second.
If I can ever get ready.
Also, there's usually like a 45% chance I end up starting to cry at some point. I tell myself every time it's not gonna happen. Then I'm taken back to the place when we wrote it. Is that too loud?
A little bit.
A little bit. It's better. All right.
I fell down, chasing for reasons you don't remember. A stranger held my hand while you faded in the background. Sorry to let you down. Took too long to decide to do something. What are we gonna do now? It's too late to say nothing happened. This version of us, these pieces of trust, try to put together. That version of us that used to be enough, said that we would never become this version of us. Waiting for a sign of life for you to say something, fall apart. Tumbling down if I'm broken, well, I'm not sure. Sorry to let you down. Took too long to decide to do something. What are we gonna do now? It's too late to say nothing happened. This version of us, these pieces of trust, try to put together. That version of us that used to be enough, said that we would never version of us, these pieces of trust, try to put together. That version of us that used to be enough, said that we would never become this version of us, these pieces of trust, try to put together. That version of us that used to be enough, said that we would never become this version of us.
Ooh, that's an emotionally taxing song.
Thanks, Derek, for the mood lighting and all that.
Now we're gonna
Now, if you can only bring a fan. No, just playing.
Now we're gonna make a harsh transition to a different mood. So there's a song that has been a fan favorite, but most recently Granny Potty Mouth has helped us make popular for us. It's currently our #1 seller on iTunes, probably because it ends almost every one of her videos. We originally, once again, did this song. We were like, are there kids still here? No? Okay, no one's saying anything. So, like, we were at the stage, we just moved to LA, and everybody, I'm not gonna call out any specific people, but there was a good number of people from not LA that were like, what are you doing out there? What's your thing, you know? What are you gonna do with your life? Like, you're too old for this, all this stuff. And we're like, I don't fucking care, man. So, this is our big, like, you know, fuck it, it's fine, it's all. I'm not good at the banter anymore. Maybe you get longer cables.
It's oddly hard to find red cables.
Yes. But yeah, so there's a second verse of it that ends a lot of Granny's videos because it says people say I cuss too much, and then we respond accordingly. Feel free to join along, you'll figure out by that time. But so we did that. I think this was a fairly quick write, if I remember right.
What's that?
When we wrote this, it was fairly quick. Oh, the TV's good. No, that's fine. Anyway, but it's been one of the, I feel like a lot of people relate with it.
Yeah.
Not overpower the vocals.
It's too loud?
Do not overpower the vocals.
They say I need to lose some weight. I don't care. They say get a real job. I don't care. They say I'm getting kinda old for this. I don't care. They ask how you gonna survive, but I don't really care. I don't want borrowed trouble. I feel good and enjoy the ride, surrounded by my favorite people. I don't care what you think of my life. I don't want borrowed trouble. I feel good and enjoy the ride, surrounded by my favorite people. I don't care what you think of my life. I let my body ache magazines. I don't care. Might be addicted to caffeine. I don't care. Always got a reason to get drunk. I don't care. People say I cuss too much, but I don't fucking care. I don't want borrowed trouble. I feel good and enjoy the ride, surrounded by my favorite people. I don't care what you think of my life. I don't want borrowed trouble. I feel good and enjoy the ride, surrounded by my favorite people. I don't care what you think of my life. Oh, oh, I don't care. Whoa, whoa, I don't I feel good and enjoy the ride, surrounded by my favorite people. I don't care what you think of my life, I don't want borrowed trouble. I feel good and enjoy the ride, surrounded by my favorite people. I don't care what you think of my life.
We got one more, and then we're going to welcome, I think, Ali Spagnola to the stage. She's crazy. I'm expecting a bike now. Are you going to do that? Okay.
No, I'm
now
gonna
set
sit down like a
expectations
normal
too high.
person.
So this last song for musicians out there is called F, C, D minor, B flat. It was in direct response to, we both have friends and family that as much as we dearly love, and also exes that we don't love so much, that all told us once again, don't move to LA, you're wasting your life, blah, 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 what's all that going on. So we got home from a party drunk, and we wrote this probably like half an hour.
This one came out like a smooth poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were sitting on the couch, and he said a line, and then I just said something right after, and that ended up being half the hook right there.
So for everyone in here who's aspiring for something that's like not traditional, and you have like haters and stuff, you'll love this story. So I specifically had someone in mind who I've been like advised by everyone not to say who, but if it were up to me, their social security number and names would be on the screen. But I had someone in mind. I was like, you know what, I hope you're getting by all right with your backup plan, because I'm laying on Venice Beach, and it's gorgeous in the middle of December. And like, I think maybe a year passed, and we were at the Wonder Woman red carpet premiere, like totally by a weird circumstance. And Amy Poehler happened to be taking video footage, and my ex saw me on it and screen capped it and texted it to me. She's like, it's you! And then I sent her this song. If you're watching, she watches sometimes. If you're watching, sorry. Okay. There we go. I'm not sorry. You had a choice. Okay.
Wrote this song at a party for somebody I don't know. Got invited by a girl that I met a couple hours ago. Everybody is a friend of a friend or a movie star. They start to sing along when I pick up my guitar. That's why I wrote this song for you. That's why you had to know the truth. When you hear this song on the radio, you hear my voice and then you'll know. That's why this could have been you. Shop the shit with your favorite band, now we're best friends. Hope you're getting by alright with your backup plan.
Yeah.
You living for the weekend?
Yeah.
You living for the weekend? I forgot what day it is.
Like these lyrics.
Would've called you out by name, but can't remember it. That's why I wrote this song for you. That's why you had to know the truth. When you hear this song on the radio, you hear my voice and then you'll know. That's why this could have been you. Or every time you said I'd be alone. For every chance I took on my own. For every dream you couldn't see. For every time you doubted me. That's why I wrote this song for you. That's why you had to know the truth. When you hear this song on the radio, you hear my voice and then you'll know. That's why. That's why I wrote this song for you. That's why you had to know the truth when you hear this song on the radio. You hear my voice and then you'll know. That's why this could have been you. This could have been you. This could have been you.
Thank you guys. Man, that feels good. All right, we're gonna get out of the way and let Allie play.
Yeah, can we turn the lights up? Actually, it'll help. I'm making YouTube here, people. This is totally going on the internet, maybe, unless I suck. Guys, make me look cool. There's a huge audience of people that just adore me.
Yeah, like not behind them.
Yeah, that would be helpful if you don't mind. My camera's not that good, so this will help. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Allie. Hey, that's Pally. I'm Allie. That's how I start all my videos. Maybe like face them. I'm an eye contact person. Want to tag team it? Yeah, that'll do. Looks like I can zoom in. Do you want me to? If you wanna, yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Alright, sweet. I'm also very short. What are you doing here? I know the keys were a little loud for him, so let me know about the balance. It's also vocal heavy. I'm a comedic musician, so it's really not about what I sound like, it's about hearing what I'm saying. It doesn't close to me. Actually, I'll just. It should be a good distance. Hopefully. My dainty girl hands can't do it. Thank you for your help. Okay, cool. This first one is from a series that I do where I translate rap songs into at least more understandable English for myself. And this one is a hit from the 90s. So I'll be singing in Jamaican patois, which should be offensive, except that it was originally done by a guy from like a white guy from Toronto, and I feel like if he had done it now, everyone would be like, "That's appropriation," and I'm offended. But in the 90s, they were just like, "Let's put that on the radio, dope!" And so you probably heard this. It's called "Informer" by a guy named Snow, and he's very clearly a white guy. His name is Snow. Okay. So. And here's my piano region version. Informer, you don't say that you snow me, I don't blame her. I let you boom boom down. Detective man says he doesn't snow me, stab someone down the lane. I let you boom boom down. Police are never coming out, they blow down my door. Wanna come crawl through my window, so they put me in the back of the car at the station. From that point on, he reached my destination, where the destination reaching out of east detention, where they looked up my pants, looked up my bottom. So Informer, you don't say that you snow me, I don't blame her. I let you boom boom down. Detective man says he doesn't snow me, stab someone down the lane. I let you boom boom down. So he made it on the week got more power. They run the phone, he said upon our me for one taser once, and now me call me lover. Lover who me calling on the run, damn me, got you love me in my heart down to my belly. Yesterday he snow me, I feel cool and deadly. It's the one alley stags and the one daddy snow. Together we are is a tornado. Informer, you don't say that he snow me, I don't ever. I let you boom boom down. Detective man says he that he snow me, stab someone down the lane. I let you boom boom down. So listen for me. me, you better listen for me now. Listen for me, you better listen for me now. When me rockin' a microphone, me rockin' steady. Yes, the daddy know me on the article done, but in the out the dance floor, we stay where we come from. People them say me come from Jamaica, but me born and raised in you told me one shot to know. People are people, and that's all I know. And the shoes are them tear up, and yeah, me toes used to show up. When me a born in on the one Toronto, so informed. You know, say that me snow me, I go lay I lay boom boom down. Gentlemen, as they see that me snow me, stop someone out of lane. I lay boom boom down. I'm living this young lady, intelligent, yeah, she gentle and irie. Everywhere we go, we never left her at all. Yesterday, he saw me all the rum dance man. Roam between that dance hall and in the nation. You never know, say that me snow me at the boom jacket. Tell me never lay it down flat in no one cardboard box. Yesterday, me snow me, I go reaching at the top and forward. You know, say that me snow me, I go lay I lay boom boom down. Gentlemen, as they see that me snow me, stop someone else. I lay boom boom down. That cover with the translation, because I was enunciating, but yeah, that's what I said. That is coming out Thursday on YouTube if you want to see that. Unless you're watching the replay, then it's already out. Go find it. Okay, this next one is from my series called Life the Musical. I have a mission to turn all of our lives into song, like a Broadway show. And so I started writing songs about just average, everyday things that happen. So when they do happen, like if you find cash in your winter coat from last year, then you have a song to sing about it. Or if you're all waiting for an Uber, you have like a waiting for an Uber song, and then you all know the words. So, life isn't a musical yet, but I'm getting there. I'm really like infusing myself into your life. Has anyone ever walked into a room and been like, why the fuck did I come into this room? And you just completely blank. Now there's a song to sing when that happens. This is called Why Did I Come Into This Room? Why did I come into this room? Why did I come into this room? I totally came into this room with something to do. Why did I come into this room? God, for a reason, not just taking nothing. That's through into this one, I'm sure I needed something. Why did I come into this room? Why did I come into this room? I'm sure I came into this room with something to do. Why did I come into this room? Now it's just a guess. I'm standing here in stress. I had it here, yes, then my brain just went meh. Why did I come into this room? Why did I come into this room? I definitely came into this room with something to do. Why did I come into this room? Okay, it's nothing. That's right, nothing. I didn't actually come in here for anything. I'm sure there'd be a reason to go where I'm going. No, I wanna punch myself but not knowing. Why did I come into this room? Why did I come into this room? I totally came into this room with at least one thing to do. Why did I come into this room? Okay, I got one more. This one is not on YouTube, and I don't know when it ever is going to be because I have like a big vision for the video, and I just keep not doing it. But it is about YouTube comments. Show of hands here. I don't know if it's just me. This might just be a personal problem, but has anybody gotten negative comments before?
Oh.
No?
God.
Oh, okay. Good. It's a little more like, how many times an hour? Is that the question? Okay, well, this is about, I guess, dealing with that. And it is called wait, I always screw this up. If I do it wrong, that means it's sticking to me. Your rubber and their glue. Yes, right? This is what we said as children. Now it's a song. Also from Life the Musical. Okay, hold on, I have to play the character of these a-holes in the verse. So. That's okay, what a waste. Fix your face, you need to get laid. Take your top off, stop eating, you suck. Nope, don't even look, it's not worth your time, because they are sad and you're living your life. Keep on being you, cause they're rubber, you're glue. Kill yourself, no one cares, you can't sing, delete your account. Your dad should have pulled out, but this is cringe. Nope! Don't even look, it's not worth their time, because they are sad and you're living your life. Keep on being you, cause you're rubber, they're glue. This gave me cancer, get some tits. Nope! Don't even look, it's not worth your time, because they are sad and you're living your life. Keep on being you, cause they're rubber, you're glue. But freedom of speech is wonderful. A beautiful thing about the internet is we can all speak our minds. But that's no reason to be a giant dick. Yup, don't even look, it's not worth your time, because they are sad and you're living your life. Keep on being you, though they take their issues out on you. They're the ones with the problem, cause the comment really is about them. They only want to make you feel like shit, because they feel inadequate. Even when they give unprompted advice, it's because they want to feel smart and nice. Don't waste any energy on feeling crappy. Just keep on being you, cause you're rubber, they're glue. Thank you very much. Who's next, Joey? Who will I introduce me? Megan. Good luck following that. Megan conjures everyone. Ooh, this dress is a little high. Hi. No, let's be closer. Wait a minute. Hi, I'm Megan. Hello. I'm going to sing about feelings tonight. Hi. So it's been a few years. I kind of took a break from music and started doing a lot of other stuff. So these are always a little more like anxiety-filled than I remember when you're doing it like every night. But this first song, I wrote this for a friend of mine who's in a relationship, and I wanted to write something special for her, and I don't even know if they were engaged at the time, but I was just imagining this world where like you meet someone and you just feel like everyone before them doesn't compare, and that you were almost put here to meet them. And so I wrote this for my friend, and it's called I Will Wait For You. And if you see my underwear, I apologize, but not really. I was alone on the same road I've always known, where I find my heart, I find my home, and you, oh you
tried to balance, and then I realized that was a bad idea. You don't know just how much I wanna say it out. Let the whole world know that I have found. Yeah, I found the love and I will fight. Won't be easy, but I know it's right. And I have watched you come so far. And I just wanna be where you are. And I will wait for you. I will wait for you. And I will wait for you. I will wait for you. And once in a lifetime, you know you'll find someone's gonna make you better. Once in a lifetime, I find you. And once in a lifetime, you know you'll find someone's gonna make you better. Once in a lifetime, I'll find you. And I will wait for you. I will wait for you. And I will wait for you. I will wait for you. Something. Bouncing on a piano, a little school here is my core is being put to use in ways it never has been. Is this what a workout is? Okay, I have one more song. I wrote this 6 years ago when I first moved to Los Angeles and I was touching a boy naked. There you go. It's called Affected. It's what most of my songs are about. I am affected by you. I really shouldn't stay, but I wanna know the way you feel. I wanna know the way you taste. I am affected by you. I'm so aware of when you go, but I'm not the one who's gonna save you. I'm just another girl, you know. I should get up and go, I should put on my clothes. Gotta keep it quiet cause I think they already know. Play it like a one-way fair. You know how to get me there. Back up, gonna be another one. Playing with a loaded gun, and you got to drunk and fun. You know me, yeah, you know me, friend. I'm affected by you. I really shouldn't stay. I wanna know the way you feel. I wanna know the way you taste. I am affected by you. I'm so aware of when you go. I'm not the one who's gonna save you. I'm just another girl, you know. You could go on stay, run back, come away. You could take a minute, yeah, got a new game to play. I'm not yours, but you are mine. So come on, baby, waste my time. It's not, I know, ready for a new one. In and out's been fun, I just wanna get some. Don't worry, you'll be hard to learn. I'm affected by you. I really shouldn't stay. I wanna know the way you feel. I wanna know the way you taste. I'm affected by you. I'm so aware of when you go. I'm not the one who's gonna save you. I'm just another girl, you know.
taste, and I am affected by you. I'm so wherever you go, I'm not the one who's gonna say I'm just another girl, you know. Thank you.
Give it up one more time. Yeah. I want to thank you guys all for coming out. We still got one more performer, Kat McDowell.
How you guys doing? Well, congratulations to RKVC on your new song. I'm so excited for you guys. Yeah, it's just been such a pleasure to get to know you guys through YouTube, and I've been waiting for some original music, so thank you. This is amazing. Okay. So, this,
You need Robbie to go up there and talk while you tune?
I think I'm good now. Thank you. So this is a song that's a little interactive. I know that LA doesn't really experience this, but I wrote this song in a typhoon in Japan a couple of years ago on tour. In the car was leaking. It was madness. I thought it would be a good idea to take a surfboard on tour, and it was the worst idea in the world. And especially on typhoons. So anyway, I wrote a song about it. A Little Rain. Windshield wipers on the blue skies are playing hide and seek. Gray clouds are spilling out the rain. Headlines, today's top story. Oh, there's a storm that's brewing, but I won't let it change my day. No, I won't let it get me down. No, it won't get me down. No, a little rain won't get me down. 'Cause we're singing, oh. Water soaking through, I wish I was waterproof. Got goosebumps, my teeth are chattering. But what's the use of fighting thunder, hail or lightning? So I'll just write it out and sing. No, I won't let it get me down. No, it won't get me down. No, a little rain won't get me down. 'Cause we're singing, oh. A little rain is good for me. Oh, not to mention California needs it with all the wildfires, you know. 'cause we're singing oh. As you can see, the lyrics are really easy. Ooh, ooh. Last week, and I'd like to try it out on you guys, so tell me if it's good or if it sucks. But yeah, you know, it's funny, I've been hearing a lot of songs today about haters and about all sorts of things. And you know, it's funny because when I first came to LA, I was terrified of coming to LA. I thought it was going to be full of shallow people, scary people, you know. I've never been very cool, so it was a little scary, but it's been wonderful. I've met so many great people. I've had such great experiences. Made really great friends. All of you guys must be amazing because you know these guys and you guys are amazing. So yeah, it's funny because sometimes on Facebook I'll see people be like, people in LA are so shallow. I'm like, where are all these shallow people? I don't know, like fake people, I don't know, maybe you're choosing the wrong people. I don't know, maybe it's you. So I wrote a song about that. Well, that, and there was also this, like, some people kind of blame their unhappiness on you. And like, or me, they were blaming their unhappiness on me. And I'm like, I think that's you. So I wrote a song about that. It's called, oh wait, it's on you? That's on you. You were cool and things were different. Today I woke up and saw the light. It kind of feels like I'm a fool for your resentment. And if that's the way you're feeling, alright. If I'm so hard to love, I never open up. If you can get enough, that's on you. That's on you though. If I'm too much to take, you say my friends are fake, baby, make no mistake. That's on you. 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 You feel alone, but haven't been for like a second. I've been beside you all this time. It'll bring you way down low the minute that you let it. And if you wanna go and let it, alright. I'm never hard to love, I never open up. If you can get enough, that's on you. That's on you though. If you much to take, you say my friends are fake, baby, make no mistake. It's on you. It's on you. Oh, it's on you. It's on you. It's on you. It's on you. That's on you. You say I'm much to take. You say my friends are fake. Baby, make no mistake. That's on you. It's 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 on you. Thanks, guys. I'm Kat.
Yeah, give it up one more time for everybody who performed tonight. Also, big thanks to Tiny Sponsor for giving us this cool place to hold this whole thing. And Easttown, thank you Easttown for giving us all this stuff, the space. You guys are all awesome, and we'll be real sentimental real quick. It's been like 3 years now we've been in LA, and I mean, we can't, you guys have been amazing. Like, we've met so many good people, and you're right, like, all the fake people are with the rest of the fake people. It's true. We were at, I'm not gonna say who's, we were somewhere one day, and I was like, this is where all those LA creepy people are. I was like, this can leave, I'm gonna physically vomit here. They do some other thing anyway. So we found this. It's such a joy, like watching all of you guys perform. You know, we handpicked you guys because we love you guys so much. Next time we'll do better at communicating the panel. Yeah, sorry if it was a little bit tough to find this place, but yeah, thanks to everything. Like Tiny Sponsors done so much stuff for us, and also they wanted us to open it up. We're just gonna hang. I think we have room till 9:45. Yeah. You said we're just gonna hang, but also want to open it up to like if you're a musician, you just want to jam or something. Sure. There's gonna be like hanging and stuff. Otherwise, we're just gonna float around and talk to you guys. Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you for support. Please add Wrong Things, Right People and all these lovely ladies to your Spotify playlist. Check out all these artists. Thank you. And big thanks to Mobcam for live stream. We're live streaming on 4 platforms at once because of Mobcam, and also Take a Water Bottle. Yes. They brought these for you guys to take. Yeah, thanks to Mobcam as well. Mob Crush, baby. All right, let's hang out.
Somebody I don't know. Somebody did it like too much like thank you. Yeah. That's what I want to do. I thought I had it all. I just thought I took a survey and then I finally figured out how to update it. I have to go to the Play Store. What is it? And actually when I got it, I wanted to find out if it was I love the That's on You. That might be the thing that sticks me in my head. That might be. It's just that. So that was it. No, sorry. Okay. You said Kat, right? Emily. Nice to meet you. Yeah. I don't even know she's from here. I live here. But, yeah. It only went on to... Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, like, you go on Twitter and it's not hard on Facebook. So I had to stop. I had to do the whole countdown for my content and then come back and go to my so it was a one-time thing. Yeah. Yeah, it was okay, yeah. I was wondering, I was like, how do I get something better? I was like, I don't know if I'm on.
Yeah, it's still going. You want to do something with it?
Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm gonna flip the cam. Hey, what's up? Whoa, okay.
Dancing.
Let's go this way. Can you see me? Oh, we got lots of people in here still. I just want to thank you guys for hanging, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. This stream you'll be able to watch, I'm pretty sure. So if you missed before or you want to see it again, then you'll be able to do that. Trying to feed through some comments here. Bola! Hello. Whoa, I look like Grizzly Adams.
I have no idea who we're talking to, if anybody.
So many people.
Hello.
What's up?
How are you?
Good. Just about to end the stream real quick.
Okay.
You guys, I hope you guys had such a great time. Like I said before, there'll be more information I'm sure we'll post in the description and everything once we get this video up and going. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and Rod enjoyed it. Happy birthday to Rod. Let me go see if he has any last words for the stream.
Soon, happy birthday to Vince,
That's
too.
right, mine's the 19th. Stream.
Oh, hey, everybody. Oh, wow, I am all kinds of stuff.
I look like I look like Grizzly Adams right now.
I know, right? Like, hi, everybody. Thanks for. Sorry, we haven't actually got the rest.
Dude, thank you so much for so much interaction with this. Like, we've got like hundreds and hundreds of people talking. Look, don't watch on Twitch. They all sound like mice on replay. It's awesome.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah, so we just want to like end the stream real quick. It's been two and a half hours. So.
Oh yeah, because right now everybody's just kind of like making noise. And
Yeah, I'll show you the room. You guys got to see this part of the room. So this is the rest of the part. And there's Paula. Hi, Paula. Bye, Paula. So we got everybody hanging out here. This is a great room. Real quick, I was saying that like if you guys missed it, zip back, watch. It'll also be available probably afterward.
Yeah, it'll be I think on our YouTube channel, and then Dustin says Twitch will sound like a mouse. Oh, thank you, Dustin.
Oh,
and Mama Tanya, Tanya just wandered around here.
Yep.
I think that might have been the first time we saw Megan play live, like in a room.
Yeah.
And I was in the back, like crying with one of my friend's girls. Like, it was I mean, all these gals, man. Yeah. It's so stressed. And also, I realized I'm much more hungover than I thought.
Are you still streaming?
Yeah, we're still streaming.
What's up? How's it going?
Alex Bagel.
No, it's not. My name's Asina.
Oh,
But I'm talking like this.
Does Adina also ride a bike and play?
Damn it. I should have got it. I could have too.
So you gotta go to Allie's channel. There's beer miles, and she drinks way more than we do.
This is water.
And then she has a plate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Sam just said throw in all the channel links to all the people that performed. So, and I had said that earlier, like we once we end the stream, we'll put this back up, or you guys will be able to access this video, and then we'll have all the stuff in there, all the links, even their music stuff, whatnot. Yeah. So, yeah. And once again, I hope you guys enjoy the song. I hope you guys enjoyed the night as much as we did.
Yeah. I don't even know when it started, so it'll be fun. We gotta rewatch it.
Yeah, Bill seems like a good dude.
Final words?
Add the song to Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you listen to. Bonus points if you want to buy it. And also, Megan Thomas, Alex Bagnola, like Cat McDowell.
Got it. Okay, cool.
That's right.
Well,
As we always,
as we always say,
don't forget to do the wrong thing
with the right people.
Like these people, you people. You're amazing. I can't wait to go back and